At home, you only have to think about a few little rooms and the few little seconds it takes to get from one to the other, and no stairs. But in school, you have to think about so many rooms, whereabouts they all are, how long it's going to take you to get to the next one, and all the mad names they're called, and hundreds of different stairs. Some of the names she knows already because she read it in Mallory Towers, like the room where you sleep is called a dormitory. Except if you speak French, then you have to sleep in a place called the poodle rooms. The Spanish girls can't have their own dorm ball. They have to be mixed up with everyone else because they just can't stop talking. Then they don't learn any English. The Spanish girls are the queerest in the school. They kiss their thumbs when they're blessing themselves. They wear fancy black veils and masks. When you hear them talking together, they sound like ducks that are quacking too fast. They never share their jars of chocolate stuff that they spread in their bread like black butter. There's a studio where you paint pictures, and the artist nun shows you how to paint trees, but she says before you can paint the trees, you have to get to know them. Down in the Phoenix Park, she gets you to rub their wrinkly skin and stick your nose in their leaves. She says each tree has its own personality. Each tree is its very own man. Then you have to make a list of all their beautiful colours. Not just the greens and browns, she goes. The greens and browns are the least of it. She gets all excited when she's talking about trees. Her hands stretch up to the sky. Her eyes get so shiny sometimes you're afraid she's going to start crying. Then Olivia Butler stands behind the artist nun, making faces and tapping her finger off the side of her head. There's a study hall for doing your Ecker, and 2 big recreation halls for after you finish supper. The white one is for playing games or doing your ballroom dancing. The brown one is for hanging up pictures of your trees or collecting your letters. The head girl stands on a chair, pulling envelopes out of a sack one by one. She calls it a name, then holds the letter up over her head, and you can see the bright stamps in the corner for a second until somebody comes up to snatch it away. The overseas girls get the best letters. Flimsy white envelopes with blue and red stripes all around the edges. Or there's these green ones that have to be unfolded because the letter and the envelope are on the same piece of paper. The Mexican letters have a seal of red wax that has to be broken with a special knife. The Irish letters are usually dead plain. She never gets any letters. Flights of stairs around every corner, some wide and long, going up 5 floors. And you could have a right slide for yourself coming down 5 floors on the turns and folds of such a long banister. But you'd have to be one of the brave girls, and you'd have to be able not to scream your head off, or else you'd get caught. There's other stairs too, dark little ones huddled in behind the chapel, and that's where the old nuns sleep. And if you've ever sneaked up in the middle of the night and looked through the keyholes, a girl called Cassandra said you'd be able to see them asleep, with their gummy mouths wide open and all their baldy heads that look like golf ball chewing gums lying on pillows made out of black stone. The narrow stairs goes up to the music cells. Then you're in the very, very top of the house, and there's a window that you just have to step out of, and then you'd be dizzy on the roof. Except it's nailed up now on account of the ghost. The ghost that used to be a domestic. And she threw herself off the roof because she found out she was getting a baby, and she wasn't even married. Jessica McGlynn said that's the worst thing you could do, get a baby if you weren't even married. That's a big mortaler. And so is taking your own life. A mortaler means God would have no choice, Jessie said. Even if he felt really awful about it, he'd still have to send you straight down to hell. The music cells would be a very scary place to be sent on a message, walking through the long corridor alone on your tippy toes. Even when you're at the bottom of the stairs looking up, listening to the sounds floating down, it's still scary enough. With the plinks and plonks, twings and twangs, whinges and whines that could be a baby ghost, and a high screeching voice that could be the ghost of its man. Mam is getting a new baby, but not for ages yet, and she is a husband, so her baby isn't a sin. But every time Tatty sees the stairs that lead to the music cells and hears all the sounds coming out, she thinks about Mam and her baby. And what if they died? And would they be ghosts then? And where would they go if they were? When you're in school, you think about Dad, telling us funny jokes, making up rhymes, or going off somewhere in his car, having them all to yourself, or even sharing him with everyone else sometimes, all squashed together inside. Like that time at the seaside when it wouldn't stop raining and the pub wasn't open yet, so Mum bought chips for everyone to eat in the car. Then Mum and Dad sang this funny song together. And that was so nice. Better than buckets and spades. The warm car with vinegary steam, eating the chips and looking out at the empty beach and the empty sea. And the rain turning the sand dark brown. And the rain punching holes all over the sea. And the rain popping off the roof of the car. And the rain splodging diamonds all over the window. And the rain. And the rain. And the song that Mum and Dad sang. She remembers that sometimes at night when she's trying to make herself go to sleep.